Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Wade's Garden Girl over here in Zone 10 in Florida. Special welcome to all my new subscribers. In today's video, I want to share with you some of the basic items that I have been using in my garden for the past 3 years. Some of them are homemade, and I got some of them at local stores, especially the dollar store and the Family Dollar. So before I share those tools with you, I just want to let you know that these 5-gallon buckets, they are very handy to store some of your garden tools in. So whenever you go outside to work, they are easily accessible, and it can also be used as a seating. So you can sit on it while working and your tools are right there with you. At the end of the video, I will also be showing you another item that I have been using to store some of my garden tools. So this is not in my garden bucket, but it was. So let me just go ahead and show you this first item, and it is a little plastic trowel. You can actually leave this outside in the sun or rain and nothing is ever going to happen to it, versus the ones that has the wooden handle, and I think I have one of those that I will be sharing with you in a while. But this is a tool that I have been using for the past 3 years, and it is very, very handy. Alright, so first up in my bucket here, I have this mini album that I use to store my seeds in. So whenever I go outside, my seeds are readily available for me to sow in containers or directly in the soil. I do have a lot of seeds in there that I will be working with this spring. I have some beautiful perennial flowers in there. I have a hammer. You all know what we do with a hammer. I do not have to do an illustration. I also have a mallet, and similar to what we do with the hammer, the mallet can be used for the same purpose, but this side of the mallet is actually rubber, so you have to be careful of what you're using it to pound on. I have a drill. So this is a drill that was given to me by my husband, and I have been using it to cut my 55-gallon barrels and poking holes in the bottom of the containers when I need to grow in them. I have the bit for the drill as well. I think it is a 7/8 bit. Have it in my waste bag right here, and here it is. And it can also, this drill can also be used to install other things, like when I'm doing DIY projects. Let's just leave it at that. So let me grab this bamboo stake. I think a few weeks ago I bought some bamboo stakes on Amazon to trellis my tomatoes. The saw that I got to cut the stakes, it wasn't working properly, so I went ahead and I got myself this folding jab saw at, I think, Home Depot. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It's very handy. I haven't used it as yet, but I know it is going to do the work that I want it to do. And here I have 2 DIY trowels that I made out of washing bottles. They're very handy. I can use it to scoop up soil whenever I want to. I have this little level that I got at the dollar store, and this I use it for when I am making my raised beds, because I like to see things level and in order, and you can pick this up at the dollar store. I have this wire cutter, was given to me by my husband as well. He works in construction, so whenever he has tools that he's not using anymore or does not use on a regular basis, he would just hand them over to me. So I use this to cut my chicken wire, and I also use it to cut my my zip ties. So whenever I'm using the zip ties, I can just use it to nip off the end of it. Okay, I have my protective glasses. So whenever I am cutting my barrels, this is what I use on my face. And I think I have some old knives in here. I have this one. The edge of this one is round and this one is pointy, but both of them are used for the same thing, and that is to take out small seedlings whenever I'm doing transplants. I have a stapler. I got this stapler because I'm planning on expanding my garden this year and I want to try some new projects. So I got myself a stapler, and I do have the staples for it as well. This is a piece of tulle, T-U-L-L-E, not T-O-O-L. And this is basically used at the bottom of containers when you're starting your seeds. So when time comes for your transplant, the transition is easier and the plants do not suffer probably just minor transplant shocks. And this is my little tape that I have been using, you know, whenever you want to measure your garden bed space, or I actually use this to mark my barrels for cutting, and a whole lot of other things that you can use your tape for. This should actually be in my pouch, and this scissors is supposed to be in this bucket. All right guys, so I do have this scissors and this one here, and you know the scissors can be used for pruning, cutting fabric, cutting cardboard, whatever you have to cut to use in your garden. I have these plastic covers, one for my country crock butter, and I think this one is for my coffee creamer, and these are used as markers whenever the time comes. I have these little sticky pads that I have been using in my garden for white flies and other insects that doesn't belong in the garden. I have some bottles that I use to store seeds. I have some old gloves, used gloves, and new gloves. I do have nails. I have I think these are 2 inches nail, and these are maybe 1 inch, I'm not even sure, but they're nails. And of course I have zip ties. I have a lot of zip ties, different sizes. Let me see if I can find some of the bigger ones in my waist bag, I think. So these are the bigger ones, and these are the middle-sized ones, and I believe I have some smaller ones as well. I don't know where they are right now, but I do have them, guys. They're somewhere in here. All right, I have this screwdriver that I use. It has multiple tips that can be used for different things. You choose the one that you want to use at the time when you're doing your DIY projects. I have this hair clip that can be used to hold up your tomato plants or your pepper plants. I think I recently got some at the dollar store. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the garden, but I got some at the dollar store. 20 in a pack for $1. And these are some pieces of rope that I use to tie the on my barrels for easy mobility. This is another piece of string from a dress that can be used to tie up something in your garden, maybe a fence or a plant that is falling over. Everything has its purpose. Everything has its purpose. I think I have some Velcro somewhere that I use for the plants as well. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So this was a roll of Velcro that I bought on Amazon. You will cut it to the length that you want it, put it around your plant, and whenever you're not using it and you take them off, you can just stick them right back together like that. All right, so before I started making these markers from the soap bottles, I used to use duct tape to mark my containers or even the blocks to remind me of what I planted and the date that they were planted. All right, is there anything else? I think so. It's just these pruners. I think they are old. I don't use them anymore. I think I don't use this one anymore, but this one can still be used for pruning some things, I guess. And oh, let me show you guys, I also have these toilet paper rolls that I use to start seeds. They are biodegradable, so I would actually plant them out in the ground whenever I am doing my transplants. All right, so there I have it, guys. Some of the basic essentials of my garden. So I'll take this bucket out with me as often as possible. I'm not saying that every day because sometimes I do not do the same jobs every day in my garden, but it is always important to have your tools ready, that you don't have to spend too much time doing one thing in the garden, you know. So when your stuff is right there beside you, they're easily accessible, readily available, and you can get to complete your jobs quicker and faster. All right, guys, so if this information was important for you or vital for you, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have ever used any of these items. If you have any, you can just share with us some of the things that you are actually using in your garden to make your garden life easier. And I will be adding to these tools as I go along daily, because as I did mention, I am planning to expand my garden, so I have to get some tools so I can do the jobs myself. All right, so thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you soon in another video. Ciao. Okay, guys, so as I mentioned, I was going to show you another item that I use to store my garden tools, and this is an old microwave. I have it this corner on top of two buckets, and I have my garden rake in there, and this is the other trowel that I was talking about, the one with the wooden handle. I have to protect these because if they get wet by water, they can break off, and then I would have to replace them, which I don't want to do that right now. So yes, if you have an old microwave, you can use it to store your garden supplies. And I also have an old washing machine that I use to store my garden supplies. It is not nearby me right now, but you all know what a washing machine looks like, or a dryer. So if you have one right now and thinking of throwing it out, I would recommend don't do that, because your tools can be protected in that. All right, so see you soon.